What's up, peeps? Today we're gonna look at the video. New York City migrants loot. They looted luxury homes, so they figured, hey, I'm gonna get deported anyway, so might as well loot and get all the stuff we need. Let's watch it. The video is from Cash Jordan. I'm going to I'll put the link on the description.
People in custody tonight after the FBI search of a Diamond District pawn shop. The two men had been buying stolen luxury items from South American theft groups and then reselling them at their stores.
So the owners of this store right here are in FBI custody for allegedly working with a South American robbery crew to sell stolen items, some of which were taken from the homes of professional athletes and other wealthy individuals all across America by a gang of Chilean immigrants residing in the U.S. illegally, living out a twisted version of the American dream with the alleged help of an American business.
Wow, look at that. Who are Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, even Luka Doncic, Bobby Portis, Mike Conley, and so on. So these people are professional burglars. So they know how to open. They know how to open, sophisticated locks. They know how to open that thing. So they are, and this is not just two or three people are involved, and also they have buyers according to the report. They will steal the goods and they will they will sell them, and buyers, we will get those diamonds and all those merchandise for profit. Good thing they got busted. I mean, they should go to jail. They should go to prison. All this and all them illegal criminals should be deported. Oh man, look at that Joe Barr's face. He's like, I'm not playing around.
So evidence links one of the thieves busted
So illegal migrants busted Joe Burr's home robbery post with stolen luxury goods. Wow, and that was February 7th this month.
robbing a football player's home to a pawn shop in Midtown Manhattan. But what nobody's talking about is this FBI bust reveals a shocking level of cooperation between illegal criminal gangs and New York City businesses that look and appear legitimate. And with one of these operations taken down right in the heart of Manhattan, you've got to wonder how many other predatory businesses like this are hiding in plain sight, especially when crime statistics show New York City has experienced an astronomical rise in moped-related snatch and grab robberies over the last 2 years. An 8,000% rise to be exact, with criminals stealing watches, purses, bags, and other valuables from unsuspecting victims in some of the city's richest neighborhoods. Which happened last summer when thugs approached customers at restaurants, forcing them to put their Rolexes in pillowcases before speeding off without getting caught. But it doesn't stop there. The city also saw a rise in robberies in Central Park and in Midtown by Times Square. And when you combine those with the out-of-control shoplifting epidemic we're experiencing, a troubling picture starts to emerge of a city flooded with so many illegally stolen items that they're now being sold openly at stores on the side of the street. And that brings us to the real reason why this bust is so important. It exposes a highly profitable industry that, when combined with New York's sanctuary city status, acts as a magnet to bring the world's worst criminals to our city, where we not only allow them to hide from the federal government while they live in taxpayer-funded homeless shelters, but also the opportunity to be the worst versions of themselves, all thanks to New York's decriminalization of petty theft and assault, which, as you're about to see, has created a pipeline of products stolen from the law-abiding and then sold on the streets of New York. Entrance of the business where this gang was allegedly able to sell off stolen property. And it's right in the heart of Midtown on 47th Street, 6th Avenue.
Wow, look at that. Where is that at? Big Apple Journal. Yeah. NYC Luxury Pawn Loans.com. Huh. I wonder if this still going on. All right, so this is the website that you see that on the, posted on their in the front store. So when you go in there, You see Christmas, payday loan, short-term credit loan. So there's nothing posted in there. I mean, you can contact them, but there's no items to buy, payday loan, and all that. So you can get a quote request. You can get tells you where they at. Huh. All right, I'm surprised this is still up, but FBI is probably looking into that. So let's continue on watching that video.
Diamond District, I got my wife's engagement ring here. Not at this place, at another place nearby. But the point is, this is an area full of legitimate businesses that have been here for decades. But hiding in plain sight
Oh,
was
yeah.
apparently a criminal
Plain sight.
operation of proportions nobody ever imagined.
Prosecutors say the men brokered the sale of countless pieces of stolen merchandise taken from across the United States by South American theft groups. The two were allegedly the middlemen, buying the loot from the thieves and selling it at their store. A customer of the pawn shop.
So what's unbelievable about this is that the store on the upper floors here, they're paying thousands of dollars a month to be right here in the middle of Manhattan, but they're selling stolen items from all across the country. But before we get into this wild story about how a gang of foreign criminals was able to break into homes all across America, it's important to understand that this collusion of legitimate businesses and unlawful residents of this country is nothing new in America's largest sanctuary city, which is home to over 400,000 people who are illegally residing in the United States. Which creates a big problem. You've got a massive number of people who can't legally work yet need to feed themselves, pay rent, and buy clothing, creating an opportunity for businesses to prey upon these people or to team up with criminal gangs and then prey upon the rest of society.
A gang of Chilean migrants are accused of snapping brazen photos after allegedly storming Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow's $7.5 million Ohio mansion. The alleged gangbangers also posed wearing the NFL star's JB9 and number 9 chain necklaces. Burrow's girlfriend.
So these guys that were running stolen products up to the third floor of this store right here, they might look like jokers from the photos they posted on social media, but they knew exactly where they were going, they knew how to get in, and this might not be the first celebrity's home they raided. However, the FBI says that stolen goods from multiple celebrity home invasions were being sold out of this particular business. The full extent to how those items got there has not yet been revealed by prosecutors. But the thing that's odd about this robbery is that these guys had no problem taking pictures and showing off with all their loot. Either this was their first time committing this sort of crime, or they'd done so many home invasions and successful raids that they figured nothing.
Okay, so how long? I'm pretty sure they've probably been doing that for, I don't know, maybe 4 years. I would say more, you know, because they felt like they were untouchable. There was all this, the law in New York was actually protecting them.
Nothing was going to happen to them, and that they were invincible. And the amount of money they were making probably made them feel unstoppable.
Someone is trying to break into the house right now. My daughter is there. This is Joe Burrow's house.
Investigators say the two men are linked to a nationwide burglary ring targeting the homes of high-profile professional athletes. That includes Kansas City Chiefs stars Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, NBA stars.
So what happened here is absolutely wild, and the details are incredibly shocking. Not just how the goods were stolen from this person's home, who did the stealing, and how they were offloaded right here, but this is not the only business in town which apparently has a no questions asked policy when it comes to buying things that walk in the door from people who might be criminals.
Yeah, and also, like I said, them being illegals, and the sanctuary status with the New York City. I don't know if they're going to change that. I'm pretty sure they will, because it's been blown out and people are noticing it. But the status of immigrant status, the cops that will not work with ICE in deporting them. I mean, and also I think I don't know if NYC have the same rules, but in Chicago, I think if you would have stolen like $1,000 worth or less than $1,000 worth of merchandise, they will not you will not get a felony. It's not going to be a felony. Oh, it's not even going to be a charge. I think they'll just let you go. So yeah, those are the liberal policy that they know how to get around.
In fact, everything that can be stolen gets stolen and resold here. You've got bodegas selling stolen food, clothing stores reselling stolen items from places like Macy's. And if you're curious about how these gang members might have met these people, well, there's a whole bunch of stores here that all say they're willing to buy valuables that might be secondhand. These criminals could literally have just gone up and down the block with a briefcase full of stuff, showing it to people until they found a willing accomplice. And the crazy thing is, it looks like they would have gotten away with their heist if they hadn't done something really stupid.
Body camera footage showing 4 Chilean nationals being questioned by authorities last month in Ohio.
Where are you guys headed to today?
It's not
Orlando?
It's not just that. It's the policy that was put forth by the Trump administration about cracking down this illegal criminals, and that emboldened the whole law enforcement community. Because back then, while Biden was in charge, their hands were tied. But now it's like, they have to abide by the law. They have to enforce the law.
Wrong way. Florida's that way.
Yeah.
The man in the front passenger seat wearing a Cincinnati Bengals beanie, Burrow's team, and in the trunk, a Louis Vuitton bag and a shirt from LSU, where Burrow played in
A traffic stop. These guys were brought down by bad driving. Their car was full of stolen belongings, and the officer asked them where they were going, and they said, "Oh, we're going to Florida." And the officer's like, "Guys, Florida's that way." And this is crazy. They had $300,000 worth of valuables from this guy's home. The homeowner is signed to a 5-year, $275 million contract, which had a $40 million signing bonus. So he's incredibly wealthy. And apparently his home had security guards there, but these guys got in when the shift changed, revealing an incredibly high level of sophistication to this raid. And apparently they had planned this out in advance. They did not just show up, break the window, and steal whatever they could find, not knowing whose it was. Apparently the authorities found photos of the home in question on their cell phones that were taken prior to the break-in. And then they discovered something else that tied them to the owners of this business right here.
There were 4 men arrested for that, and according to federal prosecutors, one of the defendants, Djinsky, his cell phone is connected to the 2 men who were arrested in that case. So that was the connection to Joe Burrow. They're still trying to sort out all of the victims and identify the property in this case.
Wow, that is way more than some casual relationship. The people that ran this business were in direct contact with this gang that was out robbing celebrities' homes. And that could mean one of two things. It could mean that the owners of this business have the cell phone numbers of a lot of people who bring them expensive stuff. After all, there's a lot of businesses on this street that have rare and expensive things. And the last thing you want is for your customer to be standing outside your front door with a briefcase full of this stuff in New York City.
Yeah.
It would be incredibly bad for business if one of your customers was followed and tracked down while making a delivery. And if you're headed to a New York City pawn shop or jewelry exchange and you get there and the door's locked, that could be a big problem. So maybe the cell phone connection, not that big of a deal. Or it could mean that these guys were in cahoots and they were in contact with these criminals as they were premeditating which homes they were going to hit up. Only time will tell, however, if a business gets busted reselling knowingly stolen
Roman the buyer, gold, platinum, silver, diamonds, and watches. Wow. So, yeah, these businesses are making. I'm pretty sure they're selling that. They're selling the merchandise, for their value, and this people that's selling them, they're probably getting penny, to a dollar bargain thing. They're probably making like 1,000, 2,000% on those.
merch, which they may have helped the criminals steal. They could be going away for a long time. But even if they do, as we touched on earlier, the criminal element that is stealing all of this wealth is still going to be out there, which means the opportunity to profit from the sale of all those stolen items will still be there as well, and the opportunity to make money supplying these criminals with the one thing they need to do their dirty work, that's not going anywhere either.
Those things too, the gun-free zone. So the robbers and bad people that would rob your place can just walk in there knowing that, hey, they don't carry any guns. They're not going to be able to fight back. That's pretty stupid, in my opinion.
So criminals, gang members, thugs, there's a lot of people like that living in New York right now, and they need to arm themselves to get up in the morning and go about doing what they're here to do, which creates an opportunity for people in possession of things that are banned to sell them and make a lot of money because they've got a lot of customers who need those things to go about accosting others, stealing, robbing, home invading, etc. And
Yeah, like exactly my point. Exactly my point.
sadly, this criminal opportunity has attracted people to New York who are just the absolute worst of the worst.
These are some of the worst criminals suspected Tren de Aragua gang members, allegedly making money selling guns on the streets of the city. But they had no clue they were selling to undercover NYPD officers. Police Commissioner.
So in New York, you've got so many criminals that one gang can make money arming other gangs who make money using those things, stealing and exploiting the rest of the city. And apparently this recent gang bust saw 10 members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua all busted for selling weapons. And apparently these criminals had quite an arsenal of fully automatic devices, and they were also in the United States without permission. But apparently they were making money supplying New York's growing criminal underworld with the tools of it.
This is why when politicians like the governor of New York, or even the mayor before, Johnson, he was saying that he was pro-immigrants and we will protect immigrants and we will do that. We're sanctuary cities and stuff. See, the criminals, they're not stupid. They're going to use that. They were using that. They were taking advantage of that. They were blending in with the immigrant shelters and all of that, churches, and this stupid politician is falling right into it.
Its trade, and they only came here because this is a sanctuary city with soft on crime laws and a defunded police force. Something that's pretty obvious to see when you look at the statistics around moped crime and how it's exploded here, with snatch and grab robberies in this city going from non-existent to a daily occurrence. But apparently arming an ever-growing population of criminals here locally wasn't enough for these guys, and they were exporting their operations to other states.
Kat says their criminal activity includes other crimes reaching further than the city.
And included Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Texas, Florida, Colorado.
When confronted,
and I can guarantee you, those cities are more likely to be run by Democrats. I can guarantee you.
during a buy and bust operation, the NYPD says the gang members put up a fight. Still,
So these guys, apparently, they didn't want to go down without a fight. The police knew coming into this that these were violent criminals. But it gets even worse because look at this. One of the guys that they took down has...
What is it? Brian Aguilar, who has prior bust and robbery and gun possession, was picked up on 242nd Street, White Plains Road in Bronx as part of the sweep. That dude's loaded.
Prior arrests for weapon possession. Now that's incredibly serious. Weapons are no joke here. You're not even allowed to have them in certain parts of town. And if you get caught with an illegal one, that's a felony, which is supposed to come with prison time. Yet this guy somehow still had his freedom. He was living life as a criminal without a care in the world. And what kind of backwards message does that send to people who want to come here and be dangerous? We got signs all over Midtown, where I'm at right now, saying that you can't have weapons, yet when people get caught with them, nothing happens to them. That's why you've got people that are here selling them illegally, and that's
because there are illegals. They're protected. There are protected class of citizens. They're not even citizens in the community. That's the politicians' fault. This is gun-free zone. Do you think the criminal is going to go, oh, there's the sign, we shouldn't bring our gun? Do you think they're going to follow that sign, you stupid son of a guns?
That's why you've got people that are using them to commit crime all over town. And apparently also in other parts of the country where they're invading the homes of wealthy individuals to rob them and then sell whatever they stole on the streets of New York.
Tren de Aragua, or TDA, is a violent gang from Venezuela. On social media, police say they display their criminal enterprise and how they're expanding day by day here in the city.
It's because it's all been glamorized in the street too, you know, been glamorized by the guns and violence been glamorized. Bad behavior has been glamorized.
City. They come here
Yeah.
almost exclusively to commit and engage in criminality.
So there you have it. These gangs, these criminals, they didn't get here by accident. No, they came here because this is the perfect place to do what they want to do. And based on what our country's learned about some of these gangs, like this Tren de Aragua, everyone should have seen this coming. Because this one group in particular, they are human exploiters. It underpins every single crime they're involved in. And asylum seekers in New York City shelters reported being approached by gang members demanding that they join their gang and start committing crimes. Saying no would result in someone being branded an outsider, a fate nobody living in a government-funded homeless shelter that bans police from entering wants, because in these places the only morals come from the criminals that have taken them over. And of course these aren't the only criminals that have come here because of what New York City lets people get away with. We've got this theft ring of criminals from Chile who were here to do business and sell things to corrupt establishments that have a legitimate presence in this city. And we know that terror watch list suspects were apprehended at the U.S. southern border over the last few years and then disappeared into the country. This is incredibly frightening. And all of this crime and lawlessness is enabled by sanctuary city policies that bar the police here from cooperating with ICE. And when you stack on top of that our lax justice system, this entire place is just a playground for criminals to learn and perfect a trade they should never be engaged in the first place. What do you think about that? Are New York City's rules the reason we've got budding criminal empires sprouting up all over the place here? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
All right, thanks, Cash Jordan. I'm going to put that link, the direct link, in the descriptions. So there you have it, guys. Thank you.